Hello, hello,
Hello.
hello,
Hello.
hello. What is up, everybody? Oh, wait, hold on a second. I forgot to do all this. Where is it? Da 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 da. There it is.
Wow.
I don't know about all that. It seems a little loud, doesn't it? You kids with your loud rock and roll music and hula hoops.
Hey, Jason.
Oh, we've got Jason Brown here. Hey, everybody, it's a live episode. Enough of that. I'm John. That's Richard. And we've got some show and tell and some books, and we've got some people in the chat. So happy Labor Days to you. Oh God, is that going to just be on a loop?
Forever.
No, I don't think so. Hit pause. There we go. Take that. Frog Roller, what's up? Show and tell. Waste not, want not. You want to start?
Yeah, sure. People ask me, are there books that you buy whenever you see them? This is one that I always try to pick up. Uh, it is Batman. What's good? Gotham by Gaslight.
Do you know the significance of that book besides the fact that it's a really cool Mike Mignola art?
No, what?
That inspired Elseworlds.
Right. Yeah. I thought that was the first Elseworld book.
It is. Is it officially branded Elseworlds though?
You know what? That's a good point. It is not.
See, Jason knows that inspired Elseworlds
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah. It's an out of continuity Batman story. If you're a Batman fan, it's definitely a great read. I bought this one. You see, I haven't even rebagged them yet. It's got a $10 sticker on it. I bought it this past weekend. I actually paid $5. It was a half off sale from one of our local comic book sellers. So yeah,
Tell
definitely.
everybody about where you and our friend Forrest, DD Comics fan on Instagram, where you guys went this weekend.
Yeah, on Labor Day, Memorial Day, these two excellent guys um, have basically they turned their garages into.
Where?
Oh, it's in Amherst, Ohio. Yeah, they
That's country, folks.
yeah, yeah. Chuck, who is one of the guys who he does a number of shows, and Al are the two gentlemen he does shows as well. Um, they basically take their inventory, they clear out the garage, they throw up long boxes, and they just invite people to come over and buy books, and it happens every Labor Day and Memorial. It's the only reason I remember when Labor Day and Memorial Day is.
I keep forgetting to fly out there for it too. I keep forgetting.
It's fun. It's a fun trip because there's no pressure. You just walk in there. You are surrounded by other comic book nerds. There's nothing. There's no distractions from the comic books, right?
Right.
And the books are priced really aggressively. Chuck had too much inventory, so he's trying to clean out a lot of the stuff. Some of the books you'll see I'm going to bring up here all have the price tag on, and yeah, $5. You know, he had a
Crazy.
number of books. He had a box full of 50 centers. Actually, he had like 4 or 5 long boxes full of 50-cent books that I pulled a number of books out. And some cases, you rescue. You come across my favorite book and you just rescue it because
Yeah. Any quasars, I have the rescue quasars.
there's some of that, but no, it's a good time. It's a great way to fire off the Labor Day holiday. uh,
Sure, what's going on? All
hey,
right. You had a really cool experience with a little mini con, I guess you can say. Oh, hi, Cat Comics. Good evening to you. I went to Long Beach Comic Con this weekend. A little spoiler alert for tomorrow's show. I do a little review. It was dead, um, deadish. I've seen it much, much busier in past years, pre-pandemic, but because it was scarcely attended, let's say that, there were deals, man. One dealer had 50% off his entire booth. First thing Saturday morning when he opened, it was 50%
wow.
off. So I went nuts. The first book I'm bringing back is You Like Action, right?
Oh yeah.
You like action. Everyone likes action. I like. Oh, hold on. Let me put myself on the spotlight here. let's do it this way. I like rugged action. Not only do I like action, I like it rugged, like Rugged Action #2.
That's a great cover.
I have never seen, I love Atlas,
Mm-hmm.
50s Atlas, Marvel 50s. I've never seen this title before. I've seen Navy action, I've seen Marines in action,
Mm-hmm.
but I've never seen rugged. I've seen sports action, never seen rugged action. And all the action had the same type treatment, that action moving. So it was like a series of books. Jason's got it right. Rugged action for young men. What's up, Reboot? And Christian says he likes his action a bit soft. There are pills for that, Christian. There's medication. You don't have to, you don't have to suffer in silence, my friend. There's help out there. Rugged action, or I had to pick it up. They had it graded at a 3.0. I guess technically it is because it's got a big corner out.
Oh, yeah.
But it's really nice.
Yeah. I mean, from here, it looks really great.
For the PC. What do you have?
Next one, this book is pure my childhood.
Sorry, go ahead.
It is Adventure Comics number 340. Okay. This is the first appearance of Computo, which is this guy right here. But this is when I was growing up. My dad gave me a stack of well-read DC comic books. And this is one of the books is in there. It was a ton of Legion of Superheroes books. I remembered this cover. I saw this cover at Chuck's, $10. I paid $5 for it. But this is the death of Triplicate Lass. She had three. She could split into three characters. Well, Computo kills, one of his characters, one of her clones in this, and she turns from Triplicate Lass to Duo Damsel. And I remember thinking,
sorry,
I remember thinking at the time, people die in comics. I mean, think about it. How many times in a comic from this is 1966, I think it was.
Hey, Pharaoh Lad.
Oh, Pharaoh Lad too. Yeah, and they're they died. That is such a rarity in the comic book world. But the Legion, yeah, they had real casualties to their adventures, and I thought that was wild at the time.
Written by?
I don't know who wrote it.
Jim Shooter.
Oh, Jim Shooter, really?
13-year-old Jim Shooter.
Oh, wow.
And he was like, "Stakes is high," to quote De La Soul.
See, I don't mind this. This is for the PC, so it's not going anywhere. But no, it's I can remember 8-year-old me, 7-year-old me reading this book, and reading it and reading it and reading it. And just really just enjoying the story, no matter how corny it is now. I mean, that robot now, Computo has been redone a number of times over the years and given a facelift. But look at that. You got poor Superboy bending the arm as a way of trying to.
Was it your dad's, or did he buy it for you?
He bought it for me. My dad wasn't a comic book guy.
Okay.
So I think it was one of those things where there was a garage sale. He saw a stack of books and he bought them because he used to take me with him places and I'd be bored. I'd have nothing to do. And so he bought the books for me to read while, I'm waiting for him to finish what he's doing. And I read, it must have been a stack. It must have been a stack like this big. I read through them all over and over and over. And that's what really built my love for comics.
Jason says, "Welcome to Adventure Comics Collecting." He's only 30 copies away from 250 to 503.
Wow. Impressive.
Jason, you're not 503. Oh, yeah, I guess those are the digest issues too. Okay, I was gonna say, don't leave out the digest issues at the end. I read Adventure Comics twice in my comic book collecting career, when Starman and Plastic Man were the features, because I like Steve Ditko's Starman, and when Dial H for Hero. I was all in for Dial H for Hero, man. You had George Perez covers.
I forgot about those. Wow.
Don Heck and Carmine Infantino inside, bait and switch. But as a kid, like a 12-year-old kid, I can create my own hero and send it in and they'll print it. And I get a t-shirt and all I'm giving up is my copyright.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We triplicate girl died. That was some rugged action there.
Right.
Christian, can't believe anyone grew up on DC anything. Christian.
Oh,
Christian.
oh, I didn't read Marvel until like the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the X-Men that pulled me in.
Yeah. Jason says he must own the digest. Thank you. Good, good. Hi, Dino. Good to see you. You missed last week. I'm glad you're here. Prince Gavin. Yes, that is oh, that was a weird but yeah, that was
I
Starman.
lost my audio. That's weird.
You're still
Can you
here.
hear me?
I can hear you. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Adventure Comics and the Dollar Comics where Earth 2 Batman died. And oh my lord, your first comic was Dawn, as in Cry for Dawn?
Oh boy.
Cry for your parents. That brings me to my next book. It couldn't be a better transition than that. Space
Fixins, yeah.
Technically, this is 3D Zone number 16. Got this at the show this week. It's not. Do you know? Not only is it a Dave Stevens cover, there are 3D Dave Stevens stories inside.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There are, and this is a tough book in grade. This is a beautiful copy. I got it for half off. I think they were asking 80 for it, so I paid 40. It is a beaut.
Dave Stevens, I tell you, I'm talking about taken from us way too early. Can't imagine what he would have done with technology, you know.
Mikhail's watching us from Manila. What is up, Mikhail?
Awesome. Welcome.
Hi, Lou, and love Stevens. I think we all do. Christian says his first comic was Giant Size Rugged Action. Do you have a copy of that? I'm looking for that. All right, what do you have next?
Next, again, also came from the comic book sale this weekend. Nice copy of Star Trek. I'll take it out of the book.
Number 2?
Number 2. Star Trek number 2. From 68. It is a we'll call it well loved.
Needs a press.
Needs a press, but I'm saying it's well loved because when you open it up, there is tape along the inner cover here.
Am I wrong for kind of loving that?
I can't be mad. No, I mean, it proved this book was cherished by some kid back in the 60s because they repaired it because they wanted to continue reading it. This is great. I mean, again, this is probably a PC book, and I want to get the early Star Treks. So this is a step towards that. It's without the tape, it's probably a 4 or 5 because of some damage. But overall, it's the history of it. I was a huge.
Show us which version? You got
the not the photo. It's not the photo back. Yeah, that was the first thing I did when I got it home. It's like
Oh, that's all right. Hey, Phil's watching us from Worcester, Mass. I hope I'm saying that. It's Worcester, right? It's Worcester.
Worcester, isn't it?
Is it? I think it's Worcester because they're
Worcestershire.
That Massachusetts accent. Christian's first Star Trek appearance in comics is number 1 of the Gold Key series. Indeed.
I'd love to find a good quality number 1. I'm always looking for that.
I had one for years, sold it. Sorry. My next book is a John book through and through. It is Young Romance, number 197. Now, why do I have this? Not just because it's a great 100 pager. I love these 100 pagers, but the main story is entitled Strange Girl, the story they dared us to print. She's saying, don't waste your time, Fred. Liz isn't interested in boys. You know what I mean.
Really? Wow.
What?
Wow.
I haven't read the story inside, but this is the infamous lesbian cover of Young Romance, which I think in the Overstreet it says something like controversial cover or something like that. I have a few controversial covers, but my remaining books for show and tell tonight are all controversial covers. So get ready, strap yourselves in, folks. It is Worcester. Yes. Okay. Thank you,
Worcester.
Bill.
Okay. Okay.
Actually, Worcester.
Worcester.
Hey, what is she interested in? I don't get it. Not boys. I'll tell you that much. Old man had a bunch of Star Trek comics in the 80s. They were cheap back then.
Yeah.
Indeed they were. Mark, I do not have the DC Supergiant Love 70 or 71. I wish I did. Those are always on my want list, along with, I think it's My Love 14, the Woodstock issue. That's a giant. I want that too. Legos. She's interested in Legos.
Yes.
Not boys. And Frog Growler loves controversial covers. Well, stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. What do you have?
The next one, this book I got from Al, the other dealer who was selling. And this is a book I've been looking for a while. This is Teenage Ninja Turtles #1. This is a second print.
It looks nice.
For those who don't know how to tell the difference, if you look, there's a couple of ways of telling the one that I always spot is the T right here.
Yeah. Yes.
There is no blood in the T right there.
Right.
That's the first and second print. If you look at the third print, I happen to have my third print right here. You can tell in the T, there is
there's a splatter
there in the T. That's how you can tell the third print. So I saw it on the wall, and I immediately was interested in it because the third print's like 30,000 copies were printed. The second print was about 6,000. First print was 2,000. So I've always wanted to upgrade to one of the second prints. And so it wasn't cheap, but it was less expensive than I thought. I just don't see second prints very often.
What do you think it will grade at?
It's got a bad fold here in the upper. It's never going to show in here.
Color breaking?
Yeah, it's color breaking. On the front and one in the back. And there's a little spine damage here. I'm guessing it's going to be a 4 or 5.
Okay. Jason, issue 4 is the first. Issue 5. Sorry, issue 5 is the first comic size.
Yeah.
Right. When you press those Mirage books, not the magazines, but the comic size, be very careful, because if you don't know what you're doing, they're on some weird stock with a weird finish. You can cause rippling on the back cover, especially if you're not using fresh silicon release paper each time. So yeah,
the first 4 are the golden ones for me. You know, our friend Forrest picked up some nice examples of issue #2 and issue #3. So he hasn't had any turtles. So now he wants 1 and 4. So
if you guys watch our Instagram live sales for the last 2 years, I've had multiple copies of 1 through 4 fly in and fly out. The minute I get them, they head out the door. Back to controversial comics. So I sing you to sleep after the loving.
Oh, that's terrible.
You people are disgusting.
No, it's just.
There's nothing going on this cover except for a young boy being betrayed because Superman lied to him. He really is Superman. He says, Superman, my dying wish is to know your secret identity. And you say you're Clark Kent. It's a lie. That's all that's going on this cover. There's no innuendo whatsoever.
I understand. More rugged action.
Tell me something good. Tell me.
Archie Comics are full of covers like that, where there's implied innuendos that wasn't intentional. At least originally it wasn't intentional. After a while, I was convinced that they understood what they were doing about being in the pink and things like that.
Jason, it could be completely right. You don't know. I saw this weekend. I couldn't believe it was sitting there for $15, 50% off, $7.50.
Wow. Yeah.
$7.50. This cover's always cracked me up. Obviously we're making jokes about it. We're not making light of, serious things like this, but file under what were they thinking?
Right. Right. Who approved that cover?
Yeah, exactly. Frog Brawler, who did the reveal your secret identity to the dying kid story first, Superman or Spider-Man? Well, I haven't read this yet, so this is definitely before Spider-Man, the boy who collected Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to open this up for the first time because it feels very thin. It doesn't feel right.
Uh-oh, you think pages?
Yeah, I think there might be pages missing. Let me look at this thing live on the air. Let's see. One, no, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 in the centerfold. Yeah. Okay. False alarm, folks. You got to hear me count to 17, though. That was exciting. The guys making Archie knew exactly what they were doing. I agree.
Okay. I tend to completely agree with that.
He's waiting for one of us to show the Rifleman cover. Lou,
Yes.
I don't have it.
I want that so bad.
You get in line. I get that cover first.
Just because the look in the kid's eye, like,
Would.
Awesome.
That one's a doozy. I think there may have been do involved.
Yeah, I've only seen it once in person.
Old man says he found a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4 original series in his magazines a few years ago. He put it away and promptly lost it again, only to find it under a stack of books last year. Well, then it's pressed. It's ready to go.
Yeah, but yeah, that's a long way of getting impressed. Yeah,
exactly. What do you have next?
The next, you know, I was in Sheffield, where Comics Are Go is, our friend Eric's comic book store, and I was going through his boxes, and I came across this. This is
Snap.
Yeah, this All-Star Super Squad. Is it number 1? Number 58.
Well, it's the first Bronze Age issue. They picked it up from the original numbering from the Golden Age.
Right. And it's the first appearance of Power Girl, who is right there in her boob window.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's 8.5. It's, you know, white pages. It's I thought it was, I got it for a good price. I thought it was a great book to have for the collection. I've always been a fan of Power Girl. I've always been looking for this book, but I've never found one that was graded to the way that I wanted. And so when I saw this one, I said, wow, got to jump on it. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate it.
Is it bumpable?
It's a really nice wrap. I'm seeing a couple ticks in there, and if I was daring, I might try to get a 9 out of it.
Okay. All right. Want to know how many people laugh when they made Giant Size Man thing? Yeah, well, my T-shirt always gets a few laughs when I wear my Giant Size Man thing T-shirt. And Jason says, "Power Girl over Supergirl any day." Yeah, I guess so. Supergirl's not been well handled the last.
Supergirl has been really, yeah. Well, Power Girl has her issues too, but I think in terms of story complexity, I think Power Girl wins out over Supergirl.
Yeah. All right. Controversial cover time. File this under, "Hey kids, comics," or "Mom, can you drop me off at the comic book store so I can go shopping without you? You don't have to come in. You stay home."
Oh my God.
This is a copy of Deathhawk #2.
Oh my God.
Not approved by the Comics Code Authority
or
any authority. In fact, call the authorities.
All right, what's the story behind that?
Well, I couldn't resist. I had to look inside to see if this scene actually happens. It does in the first 3 pages. However, she's not, there's no ball gag inside.
Okay.
And she is not as provocatively displayed on the operating table. They're doing something to her. She is nude in the book, but it's a lot more tastefully done. Robot bondage. Wow. I'm a fan of Deathhawk now. Robot S&M. Awesome cover. This actually sells for a premium. This is a tough book. It is David Dornan was the artist, and David Dorman did a lot of covers in the late 80s for some independence. And he was a very talented artist, as you can see, kind of from that Joe Jusko, Bob Larkin.
Yeah, it makes me think of those 70s exploitation magazines,
Yeah.
Men's World and things like that.
This is when you could drop your kid off at the comic shop, and you know what? He's going to learn about life.
All aspects of it.
You don't need to be a helicopter mom. I saw it in the window and I couldn't resist.
Now, okay, here's the question. Is that a newsstand? Was that the newsstand back in the 80s? Okay.
No, that was direct market only. The jokes are coming hot and heavy. Let me see. Hard to find a high grade because it's not a white cover. I'm sure many copies have staining. Reminds me of Sarah Connor. What's the page quality? Well, parts of it are white. Is Deathhawk in the Avengers? No, not this one. It reminds me of manga. They use monsters and robots to get around the censors. I think yes. Strategic.
Oh, that's old man. That's great. I never thought of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at the strategically placed. I don't know what those are. Hands. Robot hands.
Yeah.
You know, what does your reaction to this cover tell you? It's almost like a psychological evaluation. I'm going to show you this comic book cover and you tell me honestly what comes to your mind. Are you offended? Are you worried? Do you have empathy? Or are you turned on? Or a combination of all three? I'm going to take notes. You can take the fifth. What's your next book?
Those are the only books I had 5 books and we went through 5 books.
Did you already? Yes. Recently picked up the controversial book, The Dead, #2 by Arrow, banned in Canada and the UK. There was The Dead, or was it Dead World by Arrow? I think it may have been Dead World, which was like kind of a pre-Walking Dead zombie book.
Why was it banned?
Super violent, super, getting across customs is always like Yummy Fur was banned in Canada, I believe. They had to go across customs and they would look at these books. Pages, but sticky. Well, no, Dean will correct you. They would be crusty, not sticky. Watch your hand. I may have to wear gloves this time. I always wear gloves when I press. You guys see my videos. It's naughty. It sure is. All right. That was a half hour of fun for the whole family.
Yes.
We're not going to keep you guys. It's Labor Day weekend. Oh, Forrest is here. Forrest, your ears must have been burning. We were talking about the comic show you went to with Richard yesterday in Amherst.
Yep. I told him about the great deal you got on Turtle books.
Yeah. Old man has a good point. Where is this original art?
Oh, yeah.
And is it displayed prominently on? Well, this is my David Dorman piece that I got in 1988. I
would display it. I would not display it outside of my office, but I would display it on the wall. Yeah. It's not
Come on down, Mom. I'm in the office, Mom. All right. He had some spectacular covers. I wonder whatever happened to David Dorman. He did a lot of stuff like this.
Oh, that sounds like a Google question.
Yeah. John Doe says, I feel like Richard's books are PBS tonight. My books are HBO Max.
Well, more like
mine are more like Cinemax After Dark. Exactly. And congrats on the books. Love you adding to the DC collection, Richard.
Thanks, Jason. Appreciate it, man.
Jason going the other way than Christian, our anti-DC person. All right, folks, we're not going to keep you. You guys have a fantastic Labor Day weekend. There is a new episode tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, and we will catch you then. See you guys.
Everybody stay safe.